This is an excerpt from a hand history review I did for Fishinlake at ignitionpoker.eu. You can get a deposit code for Ignition Poker by clicking the link in the description. And to watch the entire hand history review, visit teampokerpastor.com. All of my Twitch subs get full access to the video and other videos that will be posted over the coming weeks and months. So be sure to check us out at teampokerpastor.com.
We get the 3x here with the king 10. This is probably not, again, this is probably not a hand I'm opening from this position. Like, I think this is on the bottom of the non-suited side that I'm trimming and focusing more on the suited side. So I like this better if it's suited. But if you're trying to be really aggressive and wide, it's not awful. It's more of a preference thing for me. Like, from these first three positions, like the king 10, ace 10, ace 9, ace 8 offsuits, like all of those offsuits are kind of getting pulled off of my range. Same thing as before here. Like, we're c-betting here. We don't have a lot of equity. Like, the only backdoor draws we have are backdoor straight, and we have 3 overs to the board. In position, I'm fine with this bet, but again, out of position, like, this is where I would trim up a bit. And again, if you think your player is really probe heavy, you can check call street. But this board is wet-ish, and like, I don't want to just constantly be clicking the c-bet button every time we're out of position. You c-bet he calls, and then this is interesting to me. So like, this is one of the outs that we get that actually allow us to double barrel. Like, we didn't have a lot of double barrel outs, but this is actually one of them, and you just check. Like, this is definitely, if you're going to c-bet the first bet, definitely want to, now that you're open-ended, like, this is a great spot to double barrel. And for a lot of reasons, like, again, like, we're attacking all of his pocket pairs, like 7s through 10s, right, would all float you here one street. There's some 6s in his range, 6-7, 6-8 suited. If he had a hand like a6 suited, like, those are going to float you one street. We're behind all of those hands, and those are all hands that are, now that this double second overpair card comes, like, it's really hard to like call 2 streets here with even pocket 10s. Because this is a really hard call for pocket 10. So we have all these hands in his range that can float you here that we're behind. That now this is a great double barrel card, and we've picked up equity now. Because now, like, if he does have any of those hands, you know, a 9, a 10, a king, an ace, are all good cards for us. If the board pairs at the high end, it's good cards for us. So this is definitely a spot where I'm going to double barrel and go 2/3. But you check, he checks, and then you bet river. And like, I'm trying to avoid the bet check bet line because it's one of the more exploitable lines. Like, people just see it as weakness these days, especially on ACR. Aggie probably not so much because people aren't paying attention as much. But like, again, you're playing on multiple sites, so just be careful about this bet check bet line. It looks very, very bluff heavy to a lot of regs, and it will get pounded. And this would be a great place for a triple barrel bluff. Like, a triple barrel bluff here looks so much stronger, right? And you do get looked up, and he did have the flush draw with the a7. So, like, I mean, in this, again, if you want to be results oriented, like, in this spot, like, he probably isn't folding to 2 streets of bets. But here's where the triple barrel could have worked for you, because, like, you know, you put him on a7 here, like, we bet flop, he's calling, we bet turn, he's still gonna call. Well, this river's a 7. Like, if you bet turn, like, say you bet 22 and he called 22, now there's like 8K in the pot. And now, like, you're almost in a place where you can jam on him, and this is such a hard call. Like, there's just no way he can call here with a7 if you jam. So, like, I like this. This would have been a sexy triple barrel place. I know that's hard. Like when you don't know his cards, it's like, oh well, he could just be calling me with a queen here or whatever. But these are spots that you can really get some extra value. Definitely bet the turn, and then if you want to shut down on the river, you know, I don't fault it. I think you can go either way depending on how you view your opponent.